going. So time's yours.
Coach, first question is about you, which I know is a topic you love to talk about. But your colleagues, players, even before this run began, have always said that you have an aura when you walk in a room that you're in command, you're a leader. What is it about you that gives them that impression, and how did you develop and hone that?
Yeah, that's a tough question, Matt. I don't take that lightly for people to say that, first of all, but I've been put in leadership positions from the time I was younger as team captains and all that stuff, so I've been very fortunate that way. Don't know where it comes from, probably the way I was raised. So I don't have a very good answer for you.
Coach, Danny Limon from Fox Sports. A couple of days ago, I had the opportunity to be with Brett Favre and talk to him, and he speaks highly of you. He told me that he doesn't bet, but that if he would bet for the Chiefs because they have you as a head coach. We know all about your history with the Philadelphia Eagles, but could you tell us a little bit more about being with Brett Favre at the Green Bay Packers?
Yeah, so it was a great experience. I was there 7 years at Green Bay. Phenomenal organization, great people. I was around great players, Brett being one of them for sure. I felt like when we were together, he'd go down as one of the all-time greats to play his position, and he's done that. He finished up his career that way. Also around Reggie White, who I felt the same way about, Sterling Sharp the same way about. So we had a ton of these real good players there, and just very fortunate to have had that opportunity. I worked for Mike Holmgren there, who at the time I didn't think anybody did it better as a head coach, or I had a hard time believing anybody did it better. And heck, I've been coaching now for a couple of years as a head coach, and I still feel that same way. So, yeah.
Coach, sorry to make this a trip down memory lane, but when it comes to your time in Green Bay under Mike in that staff and being in Super Bowls, what experiences kind of informed you as you became a head coach later on in your career, and what do you think about Mike's candidacy for the Hall of Fame? Yeah,
I mean, I would vote for him for sure. He would be well deserved to be in there. Brett's in there, Ron Wolf's in there, so you get the third part of that group that had such a big influence on the success there is Mike Holmgren. So things changed when he came there, and I thought, every year we were there, we were competitive. Went to a couple Super Bowls. So I think what I took from him was I thought he was a tremendous leader. I thought he was a brilliant guy offensively, but he also had a good feel for both sides of the ball. He understood how important special teams was. I love the way he handled the players. He was tough enough on them, but on the other hand, he cared about them as guys. So, yeah.
Good morning, Andy. Curious how practice went yesterday, but also how practice maybe this week differs from the regular season, and that you've already installed the game plan.
Yeah, Adam. So practice went good yesterday. We're just going back through and trying to polish things up here this week. Still working hard, but we're going to polish things up from last week, and it'll be a normal late season Thursday today. So,
Coach, here for La Perrada, Mexico. Ever since you got Patrick Mahomes, you've beaten Vic Fangio run defenses 9 out of 9 times. What are the intricacies in his game that make you to have such a clear upper hand over him? Or is there anything you'd like to share about that, or is it just the fact that you have Patrick Mahomes and he doesn't?
Yeah, it's great. It's great to have Patrick Mahomes. So I'm not going to slight that part. He's a great player. Will go down, I'm sure, as he finishes his career. He's still young in this thing, but as he finishes his career, he'll be one of the greats to, if not the greatest, to have done it. But so that definitely helps. I don't want to slight the coaches and his teammates. He's got some good players that he's able to deal the ball to, and whether it's throwing it to him or handing it to him, those big offensive linemen that are helping him out. He appreciates those guys. Took him out to a nice steak dinner the other night, so he appreciates all those guys. And then he's been blessed to have some good defenses that support the other side of him there. So it takes a group, but he's definitely a great one. Yes.
Coach, Taylor Lewan, Blessing with the boys.
This side here.
Oh.
Right here. Oh, right here in front. I got guys raising their hand.
Recently, on an episode of Blessing with the Boys, John Gruden said that you were his biggest rival when it came to play calling in Green Bay. For you, at your point in your career, who do you think is your biggest rival from another head coach standpoint?
Play calling wise, like defensively or offensively?
Either one.
Yeah. Well, this guy we're playing this week is a pretty good defensive coordinator. And I feel like I can't get rid of him. It seems like every year, he's once or twice or three times he's there, and he does a great job. And then I always say Bill Belichick is probably the best coach I've ever had a chance to go against in my career as a head coach. So. And then I've enjoyed watching the Lions this year and the job that their offensive coordinator did there. And now he's the head coach at Chicago. You're doing good, though, man. Yeah.
Andy, over here. As a historian of the game with the Hall of Fame selection, Jim Tyre, the legendary Texan in chief that played offensive lineman, one of the greatest players to not be in the Hall of Fame, according to plenty of people. Just as a historian of the game, your thoughts on his impact and if you think he should be worthy of that selection.
I missed the first part of it.
Jim Tyre.
Yeah.
Jim Tyre. Yeah.
Yeah. So you see these guys that get slighted a bit that aren't in the Hall of Fame. I mean, there's some older guys that with their records, whether it was shortened by war or whatever, that they haven't been able to get in. His is a unique story, but I think if you just take the purity of his play, I think he probably, he should be in the Hall of Fame. So if you kind of exclude the other things, he should be in there for sure.
Good morning, Coach. A couple of years ago, Chad Henne went out on top winning a Super Bowl ring as Patrick Mahomes' backup. What did Chad bring to the quarterback room, in terms of experience, and how much did he help out Patrick Mahomes? And then the second part of the question relates to Carson Wentz. You brought him in. He's at a different stage of his career, has an opportunity to learn behind Patrick Mahomes, but yet I talked to him yesterday. He has a wonderful attitude about where he's at in his career because he's resurrected it. And what does he bring to the quarterback room?
Yeah. Chad was a pleasure to have been around, great leadership ability. I thought he was great for Patrick, just to have a sounding board. And then when he got in the game, everybody had confidence in him. So he came in some tough situations, and we didn't feel we had to change a whole lot of things when he stepped in. So it was great. I mean, great kid. As far as Wentz goes, I basically say the same things there. He just hasn't had that opportunity necessarily to step in with the ones yet, but he's a great kid, works hard. I joke to him about his size. He's a huge kid, and if he can't play quarterback, I throw him in at tight end. So he's a good one, good kid.
Andy, in the Super Bowl, the fact that you're playing in a game of this importance, does it change your aggressiveness on fourth down in the red zone and how you handle OT?
Yeah, well, as well as I do, Philly stays aggressive on their fourth downs. And they've got a good offense. So I think on the other side of that, you do the same. You know, you'd stay aggressive within reason on fourth downs. We've done that throughout the season, but that really ups itself when you're playing against a good team that likewise does it.
Coach, obviously making it to the Super Bowl is a very big deal. How do you balance enjoying the Super Bowl, enjoying the 2-week lead up, but then also keeping it, business when it comes to practice and everything like that, not only individually as a player, but also as a team?
Yeah, you understand that it's about the game. It's not about all of this. It's important for you guys, and it's important for the league and the fans for this. But the most important thing for the football players and coaches is that you function well in the biggest game of the year. And you want to do that every week, but the magnitude of this is there are two teams standing, so we all know that. And you're playing for a championship there. So it's important that you focus in on the game plan, how you handle it, so you can master it by the time you get to Sunday.
Coach, right here. Over the years, the speedster / deep threat wide receiver has been an integral part of your offense, from Tyreek to McColl and now Xavier and Hollywood. Why do you think this type of player has been so critical for your offense?
We've got a good blend of speed and some possession type receivers, if you put them in that box. And then they all complement each other. So to have those guys around Kelce, it helps Kelce's game. To have DeAndre, JuJu, those guys help, and Watson, they help the speed guys too. The speed guys help them. So it's different pitches, if you look at it this way, different pitches that you can throw at a defense. And it allows you to get a little deeper down the field and stretch it vertically there.
Coach, what have been some of your expectations and goals for the players in practice this week? Some specific ones.
Yeah, well, the main one is just to go back and make sure we polish up the game plan. And sometimes you can get caught up in, when you're back home, hey, listen, we have another week to get ready. Well, no, that's not where we're at. So right now it's Thursday before the game, and you got to up the concentration level and make sure that you keep things fine-tuned here.
Hi, Coach. You mentioned the Mahomes' O-line appreciation. Can you speak to Jawaan Taylor's role as a blocker and a motivator for this offense?
Yeah. First of all, he's a great kid. He's been a solid guy for us throughout his couple years with us. Works his tail off, doesn't say much, pretty quiet guy, but loves to play the game, man's man type deal. So he's a good one to have.
Coach Ryan Lavardi, WSU St. Bonaventure. Has the first week of February been marked on the calendar for months now?
Yeah, you don't look ahead, in this thing. You got to take care of business every week because of the parity in this league. So we just try to take it literally week by week. I mean, coaches stand up and tell you that, but in this league, the way it's wired right now, you've got to make sure you do that, or you're not able to stand here.
And has the week felt any different than the last few?
Well, yeah, I haven't had to do this every day, at the other ones.
Couple more, guys. Andy, there's been a lot of noise about officiating and how your team is officiated. I know you're not worried about that, but does it concern you at all that could seep into how this game is officiated, and maybe they overcorrect and say, we can't give the Chiefs a call with 2 minutes left in the game because that's going to be the story Monday morning?
Yeah, listen, I don't think the officials care about what's said. They're doing their job, and they're doing it to the best of their ability, and they don't favor one side or the other. I mean, that's not how this thing goes. It's a good story, but that's not reality of how it works. I mean, you'd be insulting them to think that that's what they do. So they go out and they call it like they see it. There's some, as a coach, there's some I sit there and I go, yeah, I don't agree with. There's some I agree with. You know, I mean, that's how it goes. But it does make for a good story. Yeah.
Last one. Coach, hi, over here. Nick Antonakis, WBN Sports in Boston. Very historic chance this Sunday at a three-peat, but not a lot of people talk about the journey to get there. Do you have a specific moment in mind over these past 3 seasons that define your journey so far to the chance at a three-peat this Sunday?
No, I would probably tell you no. I mean, it's a conglomeration of all of the hard work that the guys have put in, you know, and whether it's coaches and players. I mean, the guys, there's so much time and effort that goes into each game. You know, I'd equate it to studying for finals where you just completely exhausted that week, mentally, physically, to get yourself ready, and then you go out and you cut it loose. And so they do that 17 times out of the year, 18, 19, 20 if you're lucky. So, but I wouldn't say it's one thing that jumps out at me. I'd just say it's that whole body of work of, you know, 3 years of work in this league is it's like dog years, you know. So it's there's a lot that goes into it.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, good, thank you.
Hey, Travis, you've talked a lot about Andy Reid as a leader, but you know, you joined with him before the current run, before he had the current resume. When you walk into a room for the first time, how does he command it? How does he show it? What's his aura like? And do you have any good stories from early in your career about learning just about his leadership style and seeing it stand out?
Well, I got a heads up from my brother, right? My brother was with him in Philly for a couple of years, and the biggest thing is my brother was like, take advantage of the opportunity. He's an unbelievable coach. He's a player's coach, but at the same time, he's going to hold you accountable. And I think the first really year to 2 years I was with Coach Reid, I was like, man, this guy's not messing around. Like, there wasn't too much of the personality that I see now, knowing that he's like a father figure to me. He's like, I don't know, one of my uncles growing up that I respect so much because of who he is. And I owe everything to that man and my career and where it's gone, where I was at Cincinnati and where I am now, man. I have nothing but respect for Coach Reid and how he's helped me get to where I am in life.
Hi, Travis. Riley Trujillo with the Sporting News. Travis, Jason and Kylie have been playing coy about who they're rooting for this weekend.
They know exactly who they're rooting for.
But Kylie did mention that your nieces are going to be wearing shirts that say "Go Uncle Trav." Can you kind of talk about your relationship with them and what that support means for you?
You know, Jason and Kylie are, you know, I love them to death. This game isn't going to get in between how much I love them. And the fact that the girls are going to be wearing a Go Uncle Travis shirt, it warms my heart and gives me, you know, something else to fight for. And hopefully I can make them proud and put a few smiles on their faces throughout the game.
Hey, Trav, I just want to know what you have come to learn and grown to admire about Taylor Swift's work ethic.
Her work ethic?
Yeah.
What I saw on that tour last year was pretty remarkable. I mean, to see the week in, week out, traveling from one country to the next, and you know, how excruciating it is on her body and on her mind. And it's not just her; it was her entire like tour. It was the dancers, it was the band, the singers, it was everybody involved, and it was an absolute machine. And it was something I could admire watching and take a lot of notes from.
Hey, Travis, over here.
There's a whole bunch of people's hands up. Go ahead and just hit it. Yeah, thank you. Gotcha. Adam, what's going on?
Hey, You said the other night you plan to play next year and maybe beyond as well. What's left for you the rest of your career? And I'll have a quick follow-up.
Yeah, I got a full heart of football left in me. I really love this game, and I think throughout the year it can get pretty tough, but it's moments like these, the playoffs, these memories that I'll have with the teammates and coaches that I go to war with, and wanting to keep that legacy or keep finding new ways to create those memories, I think will I don't know, just keep fueling me and my love for football, man.
You see your role changing at all?
I feel like this year I kind of stepped into a role of being more of a voice for the guys. I mean, we have a lot of new faces, you know, whether it was guys that we picked up in the offseason or guys we picked up throughout the season. Obviously, Kareem and JuJu have been here. They understand the culture and everything, but just being able to be there for the young guys and help them understand the offense better and hopefully understand, you know, how to weather the storm of a week like this.
Good morning, Travis. What's your main motivation by winning this Super Bowl, and what would be the biggest challenge facing this Eagles passing defense?
Yeah, I mean, their defense, this is going to be the best defense we play all year. They play so well together. Their secondary, you can tell they're all on the same page. They all understand their rules, you know, a lot of zone coverage, but when it comes down to playing man, they're very physical. So it's going to be our biggest challenge yet, and I haven't even talked about the D-line yet. Their D-line is one of the best in the league, and it's going to be a fun challenge, man. I love going up against the best. It's why I play the game, and sure enough, we got two Goliaths going at it at the Super Bowl, man.
Travis, a lot of the guys talk about how you are in practice and just the tone that you set in practice. Is that something you're consciously aware of? Is that one of the reasons you're like that? Is it the joy of the game? Can you take me through your motivation every day?
Man, you know what? Early on in my career, I think a lot of my motivation was driven off of individual success, wanting to get that acknowledgement of my peers, of the people watching the game, that I was, you know, I was somebody fun to watch, or I was worth watching, or I was worth, you know, having on your team. And nowadays, I just love going to work with the guys that I'm in the building with. I love sharing these memories. I love, you know, figuring out these game plans, figuring out how we're going to attack a defense. There's just a certain love that I've found in it, and I think it's because of the people that I go to work with.
Hi, Travis. So over here, sorry. You've been such a big media personality, and obviously with having Taylor Swift as your girlfriend and your podcast and everything you do, you're just so big in the media. How do you manage being such a big media personality with also maintaining being such a high caliber athlete?
Well, I think everything in the media is fun. You know, you gotta treat it as, you know, it's all entertainment. So you're trying to either put a smile on somebody's face or give a good intake on you know, what's at stake. And I think my balance is, you know, you got to take yourself out of, you know, the media world and into reality whenever you're not doing media. And what's real is the people around you, your loved ones, your family, your support system. Who are you to them, and you know, how is that affecting your life? And I think that's the biggest thing, is making sure you always take a step back and see what's real and what's around you.
Travis, on your left. I take you back just a little bit to 2015 when you guys started 1-5. Do you remember what it was like going through that time and how you got through it, and to what degree you might see that as kind of a bridge to what you guys are doing now?
The last time I was in New Orleans, you're talking about?
No, when you started the season 1-5,
Oh, okay.
that loss at Minnesota was the last of those before you started turning it around. What the sort of feeling was, and how you managed to make your way back that season with 11 straight wins?
You know, I think the biggest thing is just understanding how to come together. The team atmosphere or the culture in Kansas City is unlike anything else, and I think, you know, that's a nod to Coach Reid and how he's day in, day out the leader of that building, and he sets challenges each and every single week for the team to be able to attack. And, you know, I think over the course of a season, you find yourself slowly climbing the staircase of success and finding how to better yourself, to better your teammates, how to be more accountable for the people around you. And I think Coach Reid has a better grasp on that than anybody in the league.
Hi, Travis. Over here. Skylar with People. Your mom famously showed her support for you and Jason when you guys were both in the Super Bowl 2 years ago. Now that Jason's retired and the Chiefs and you are playing in the Super Bowl against the Eagles again, will she be famously rocking that split jersey? I'm curious what her support is there now that Jason's retired.
I mean, I would hope she didn't have the split jersey this time. Philly reeled in my entire family on this one. No, I think she'll be wearing red. I think everybody outside of Jason and Kylie are going to be wearing all red.
Will she be making you those famous cookies again?
Oh, you know it. You know it. Never playing the Super Bowl without them.
Travis, here in the center, in the middle. There's been a lot of noise about you guys being helped in some way or another to get here. Why do you think people is so bothered by other success?
I don't know. I feel like I've been there before, and I used to look at the Patriots like that, and I used to have the desire to have the success that they had. I don't necessarily remember, hating on them as much, but I definitely remember wanting the desire or having the desire to be like them for sure, and to be at the top of the mountain and to be, year in, year out, the standard in the NFL. And yeah, it's come a long way, I guess.
Yeah, hey Travis, over here. I've heard a lot of people say you practice like you play. Is that something that was learned for you, or is it something just that's come natural to you from the time you started playing football?
It's definitely something I learned over the course of my career. Coach Reid keeps you accountable in that aspect. He's got the quote-unquote old school mentality. He's an old school football coach where you're going to put the work in. You're going to bring your lunch pail to work every single day and grind it out. And those are how you find real answers. You don't practicing 100 miles per hour is the only way you find that timing with the quarterbacks. You find that feel for the defenses and the zones that you got to find. And as an offense, there's no better reps that you can get than full speed reps, man.
Hey, Travis, I was curious, after the AFC Championship game, Nicky Ormigio said you went up to him after his fair catch and said that's not being great. Then he broke off a long punt return after that. How often do you pick your spots to do that, or you talk to guys a lot during the game, trying to inspire them?
I don't remember telling him he wasn't great on that play. I just remember telling him be great. Who Nico is as a returner he's a special player. And I thought he could have stole a few more yards or at least not have gone for the fair catch there. And, I didn't realize at the moment he was doing it because he didn't feel comfortable in returning that. And it's like, by all means, do your job, dog. If you don't feel comfortable returning that thing, don't do it. And sure enough, he went out there the next time, had a huge play for us, and I was so happy for him. I was the first guy to run over to him and get hyped for him and tell him he was being great. So I got all the love in the world for Nico, and I definitely trust everything he's doing back there. I don't know if I challenge guys individually. I think I'm naturally just on the sidelines making sure everybody has the sense of urgency to, get excited about their job for sure.
Travis, Will Compton with Bussin' with the Boys. Earlier this year when he
you.
broke the franchise record, you see him to not really hit the dunk on the field goal post. And then every time you see him to hit the open field, you might be getting hawked down. I'm not saying it, but I think a lot of people would like to know if you feel like you've lost his step.
It's motivation right there, isn't it? I've been eating clean. I haven't been drinking as much. I'm a little lower on the pounds this week, so hopefully I can run away from some Eagles out there. But I also saw you run your 40 the other day, and we might be in the same boat, bud. Shout out to Bussin', baby.
You have a lot of attention for the media outside and inside of the field. How do you deal with that? And does it affect in positive or give you a lot of pressure? And will you have a special routine this Saturday before the game to the Super Bowl?
I really don't have too many crazy routines. I really just show up to the game ready to play some football and ready to go, all out for the guys that I'm playing with. And yeah, I don't know. I've never really developed those routines. And to answer the other question, it goes back to kind of like what's real. You know, who are you as a person? What are the people around you, your loved ones think of you, and things like that. And I think I think I like to believe that I do things the right way. So yeah, I'm very confident in that.
Thank you.
Have a good one, guys.
Yeah, I think more than anything, you just try to find a way to finish the game. You know, it's the biggest game of the year for a reason, and you got to put your body on the line. So more important than playing through injuries, just playing for your teammates and finding ways to win. Yeah, I think they'll have a good chance, man. They have a good team. They had a great year this last year, and to get those guys back and then adding Soto, I'm sure they'll have another chance to go out there and compete and win a championship. So I'm excited for baseball this year. There's a lot of big moves happening, and I hope my Royals can make a little case for themselves as well. Yeah, shout out to Max, man. I appreciate all the support and wearing my jersey. And I would just say keep following your dreams and keep working hard. You can achieve anything you dream of if you put in the work to do it. Yeah, I think guys are ready to go. I mean, obviously, it's a lot of build-up until the Super Bowl, and guys have done, a lot of guys have done it before. But you continue to detail the details. You continue to work hard, and all this build-up it makes you ready to go on Super Bowl Sunday. Yeah, I think it would be amazing. I mean, you see how Kansas City has embraced all sports that have been in the city, especially women's sports, and I've seen it firsthand with the Kansas City Current. And I know if we were able to get a WNBA team to Kansas City, it would be packed every single night. I mean, that's just the type of atmosphere that we have in Kansas City, and I'm hoping that we can get that done and we can continue to push women's sports forward. Yeah, I would love to own an NBA and WNBA team. I mean, that's the goal. I want to try to do whatever I can to bring it to Kansas City. I think we have the infrastructure, we have the fan base, and people would come out and support it. But I know there's a lot of steps going in that direction, and so all you can do is just continue to showcase how great Kansas City is as a city, and I'll try to continue to do that. Yeah, 100%. I think it still has significance because you want to continue to push the black quarterback forward. You want to continue to showcase what we could do on the football field, throwing, running, whatever it takes to win football games. And you've seen that kind of already given push forward in the NFL, and I think almost half the starting quarterbacks are black. And so I think for more than anything, it showcases that if you give guys chances, if that's coaching, quarterback, whatever it is in any profession, that they're going to go out there and execute at a very high level. I think the biggest life lesson football has taught me is just to work hard. I mean, just to work hard and you can achieve your dreams. Football was not my first sport, and learning and trying to get better and better every single day has helped me become a better person and in all aspects of life. So I think working hard is something that these days sometimes people don't want to do, but that's how you go out there and have success. Yeah, I mean, you said it exactly right. I mean, I believe it's like playing point guard. And whenever you're driving on a fast break, you have to decide if you want to drive and slash and score, or if you want to pass it off to the big man down low, or if you want to throw the deep shot or throw it to the wing for the three-pointer. So it's just playing that position. I played basketball growing up my entire life, and I feel like in those moments it gives me the vision to go out there and execute a play. Definitely improved y'all's chances for sure. I might have to make that happen now. I don't know if I can follow Will yet. He hates on us just a little too much. I know it's in fun, but maybe I'll get on the podcast. We can discuss it further then, and then maybe I'll give him a follow back. Yeah, appreciate it. Inclusion means just giving people the opportunity to be together and to see what everybody's about before you see who they are. And I think you see the surface of who someone is, but if you really learn who someone is by their personality and what they love and who they truly are, then you can be better as a community. I think that's something that inclusion really showcases. Oh, 100%. I think that at any level, to have that much level of success is crazy. And so for him to be able to win the three-peat, take time off, come back to basketball again and do it again, I mean, something that probably will never be done again in any sport. And I'm going to try to continue to win this game this weekend and continue to have success, but I couldn't even envision being able to do that. I don't know. I'm probably going to focus on football a little bit longer, but maybe one day I'll be able to get out there and at least get some spring training in or something like that. I think more than anything, it's just he taught me so much about being a pro, and I know that sounds so simple, but whenever you're coming out of college and you're still 21 years old and you've been going to college classes to be all football all the time, and it's a profession, not a hobby, not something you do for fun, you have to learn. And especially at the quarterback position, there's so much that goes into it other than just playing football. And I think I learned that from Alex, and if that's relating with teammates, if that's being the leader of the team, everything like that. And so learning that and then staying in touch with him now to this day, he's become a friend, someone that I can look to for advice and look to showcase what I can do at different stages in my life and in my career. And I think it was amazing for me to be able to step into a room with him every single day. Not necessarily. I mean, I think whenever I came into when I came into college, I didn't start right away, and so all I knew to do was just to continue to get better and better and prepare myself for any moment, just like any other backup quarterback would do. And it helped that Alex was such a good guy, and he went out there and had so much success that it was like, I mean, what am I going to do? This dude's leading the league in passing. So I mean, like, how can we even get any better? And it helped me just to keep it in perspective of just be the best Patrick Mahomes every single day, give the defense the best looks that I can give them, and prepare myself for my opportunity to go in the game, and that I'm ready.
his work ethic, honestly, man. Trav is 12 years in like myself, and, he rarely take plays off. And, I think that's just, a testament to, how they work here and the mindset. Mm. Mm. I would say, there's a lot of similarities. It's kind of like, who you are. It's your personality, and, I think, there is similarities, but, obviously in this world playing football, you really can't, show who you are so much. You got a helmet on and a jersey. And so I think, when I step in the fashion world, it's kind of, more so like, really who I am outside of that, and I try to let that show. I'm myself. I'm the same kid from a small town who, always dreamed and, vicariously lived through, magazines or TV. And so I still do the same. I still wear something that, I feel is kind of out of the norm. I'll try to look up Japanese magazines, or, I look at, honestly, a lot of European fashion. Oh man, that's a big difference. I can't sit here and give away my keys, especially before the big game. But there's a big difference, and you see those things on film. A lot of corners, some corners feel good playing outside, some feel better playing inside. But I think the hardest corners to go against are the ones that just kind of play you man to man, and that really doesn't happen that often anymore, just because the game has gotten so advanced. But I remember going up against Darrelle Revis towards the end of his career, and Darrelle Revis was still following me around because I was the #1 receiver, and so you don't really see things like that happen anymore.
How would you describe Patrick Mahomes in the fourth quarter or overtime?
Man, I would describe Patrick Mahomes in the fourth quarter and overtime as a sure bet.
Sure bet?
Yeah, sure bet.
When you look in his eyes, what do you see?
Oh man, what y'all see on TV, I see the same thing.
Now, during your first Super Bowl, what have you been preparing for? Do you fully understand how they were gearing up to better grasp without preparing for a Super Bowl?
Man, I would say the level of detail of everything, and I've been playing a long time, and I guess the Super Bowl, when you prepare, you kind of want to know everything. There's like nothing that you don't want to know. So even if necessarily you're not in on a play, you still want to be able to understand what's going on fully. The culture, man. I've never been on a team that's won Super Bowls, so it's a championship culture. I mean, it's really not that complicated. Honestly, it's just a championship culture here, man.
What's your feeling to play the first Super Bowl in your career?
It's amazing. It's the best feeling in the world. It's a dream come true, honestly. So, I wouldn't trade it for anything. Well, it was a piece my dad gave me, left for me in 1992. So, you don't really see a lot of people wearing vintage stuff like that. And, we had to get it seamed up and, worked on a little bit, but it's just a vintage jacket. Oh, it's going to mean a lot. My dad was, leader of the family, leader of our community, so it means a lot, just being able to, have a little bit of him with me.
Yeah, we've gone through it a couple times, so people know, yeah.
What is the greatest advice you've been able to provide for that younger generation?
Just not to get caught up in the craziness, and that we're here to win a game. That's really what it comes down to.
What about your family? They're also very familiar with your routine.
Of course. They'll be here on Friday just like they usually come in, and they're excited.
And they know how to give you your space.
Definitely.
And final question.
Say that again? For me, a tip that I would give my younger self is just to go as hard as you can for as long as you can.
And final question, is there one thing in these past few years that you've done every single year that you're like, they need to have?
So you're saying like superstition or something like that?
Superstition or like anything,
Not very superstitious, no. There's been like coincidences of stuff happening every year, which have been cool, but not superstitions, no. Thank you. Good. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, I would say, yeah, I have to do this because it's part of my job and it's in the job description. And I'm not going to say it's a distraction or anything like that. It's part of what we have to do. I've gone through it a few more times, so it just kind of comes with it, I guess. Coach Reid does a great job with the schedule and making sure we got all our stuff. And yeah, it makes for a lot of fun this week. It makes it for a unique week.
How would you describe Mahomes in the fourth quarter or overtime?
Oh. I probably wouldn't use such a I wouldn't be like very PG about it, but the dude's a killer, man. He's a killer. He's a beast. Yeah. He's got a stomach for it, man. Not a lot of people can say that. He's got a stomach for those big moments. It's like playing high stakes poker almost, kind of like that.
So I would assume you would like to see him with the ball last in this game.
I mean, I would like to be winning the game going into the last drive for sure, but whatever it takes to win. Yeah. Right. Ideally, not get in that situation a whole lot. Ideally, try to prevent getting in that situation. Maybe instead of 4th and 1 or 2, you're in a 4th and 3 type of situation, just because of all the success they've been able to have running that play. And then when and if you're in that situation, by any means necessary, man, you're in the freaking Super Bowl. So.
George, just somebody on the other side of the ball from Travis and not having to cover him and deal with him. What's your impression about how uncanny it is when he keeps getting open the way he does when there's so much attention on him already?
It's the best to ever do it. Plain and simple. I see it every day in training camp, a lot in practice. Best to ever do it. And that's just that. I mean, he loves the game. He's very creative, very smart, and yeah, I can't say enough.
Yeah.
Jawaan, what is it like to be part of such a strong in the league regarded offensive line that you are literally talked about as the best unit of the league? Is there internal competition between you guys? And how do you sort of maintain that elite status?
I think we owe it a lot to Coach Heck, and I know we owe a lot to Coach Heck. He's a phenomenal coach and does a great job with us throughout the week and getting us prepared for the game so we just go execute. And also having great guys in the room, Joe Tooney, Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, the list goes on. And I feel like we just have a great unit as well. We all are close and tight-knit, and we trust one another.
Are you afraid of losing Trey maybe? I mean, he
Man,
a
yeah.
lot of money, but
Absolutely. I love playing with Trey, man. And if he has the opportunity to play elsewhere, man, I'm going to miss him. But, you know, he's a phenomenal player. I love going to war with him every week.
much has been made about the way you line up, but you've done
Yeah.
that for your whole career in a
Right.
sense. Why do you think it kind of picked up focus in the last year or so?
I'm not sure.
All right.
I'm not sure, man. Maybe because it's bigger games and stuff like that, or I'm not sure. But I just, just try to make sure I fixed it and get better with it as well.
You spent your time in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Tell me, what was your reaction and some of the guys to the Liam Cohen thing? I mean, it went viral,
Right.
obviously. Is this something you guys in the locker room kind of joke about or laugh to, or what's your sort of reaction when you see something like that?
I haven't had the chance to talk to none of the guys from Jacksonville about it, but I thought it was pretty funny, man. Hear somebody say Duval in a different way, I thought it was funny.
How should he do it? I mean, you've been in it.
You got to hold it. You got to hold it longer. The U's got to go a little longer. That's all it is. Yeah.
And in terms of this defensive line, man, your approach? I mean, because they have beasts all
Absolutely.
over. You know, it's not like one guy.
Right.
What's your approach to sort of even matching up against your guy on Sunday?
Oh, just a good game plan, and of course, just having a great week of practice. You have to have a great week of practice, great, meaningful reps, just so you can go out and execute on Sunday, because they do have a phenomenal front for sure. Thank you. Thank you, man. Nice to meet you.
What's been your favorite Super Bowl moment? You've been part of film, I guess.
Mhm.
So what's been your favorite Super Bowl moment?
I would say so far this week was opening night. Just coming into the stadium, seeing all the fans, and just seeing the stadium and the setup and how it's going to be on Sunday was amazing.
What about past Super Bowls?
Past Super Bowls, I would say just winning it, man. Just going all the way and having an opportunity to win it with your brothers is always fun.
Is there a particular play that sticks out in your mind or moment?
The last play of the game last year, winning the game in that last moment with Pat throwing the ball to McCall, that was unforgettable.
Can you say it? Was it Tom and Jerry?
Yep, Tom and Jerry. Yep.
And then with Trump being the first sitting president to ever attend a game, is there any added pressure?
I don't think it's added pressure, man, but it's so cool that he'll be there to be able to play in front of the president. I think that's really cool. It's an honor. Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because we know when Spags is organizing defenses, we're competing against the best, and if we can do things to have success against them in training camp and when we're practicing against each other, we know that it'll work against other teams that we play. Yeah, well, first night we'll still be here, so absolutely can't wait to get back home to my daughter and hold and snuggle with her and, get to be a father and be a full-time job at that. Really excited about it. But after the game, I got a ton of family. I plan on just being low-key. We're going to go back to my brother's place and just hang out, have some good food, probably play some cards, and have a good time. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, like they have so much fun. Like they try things a lot. Like they experiment and see if things stick. I think that's why Coach Reid is so creative. And every once in a while, you see a play you've never seen before. Like all through training camp, they're playing around with formations, routes, and just seeing what can work. So I think that creativity is fun for the guys. It keeps it engaging. And then every once in a while, you actually find a good play out of it. Well, they're definitely testing our rules and our discipline because we get things that we haven't seen before, and we got to just rely on the defense, and that helps the defense too because if it exposes something, then Coach Spags is able to put in a check on our alert, so that way it doesn't end up being a big play when we're playing somebody else. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's for sure a cool moment. And, it's special and, I'm not taking it for granted. I think that my process has always been to not look too far forward into that because I think if you do that, you miss today. You miss the moment now and enjoying it. So I just rather be focused at the time and end, be focused on being a good teammate, focus on helping the young guys and other guys prepare for the game and make sure we're seeing things the same way. And if we go out and execute the way we're capable of, then all of those cool things will happen on the back end, and then we can enjoy it at that point. I mean, it'd be amazing. It'd be a story that not only myself and my family would be able to tell forever, and it'd be really cool. Yeah, I mean, he's such a dynamic player. I mean, this guy's legs are strong as an ox. He has great vision. He's patient in the hole. He cuts back. I think extreme gap discipline in fitting your runs because a lot of times he waits to see if a guy will peek around and get out of his gap, and then he just hits it and goes. And then, he has the most top 20 mile-per-hour runs in the league this year. So when he hits the edge, this guy is rolling, So I think that having gap discipline is critical. Also being able to use textbook fundamentals in your tackling because he'll spin out of it, he'll stiff arm you, he'll just plain try and run you over. So all of those things will need to be at our best in order to be able to handle him. And you don't try and it's extremely hard to stop him. You just try and limit what he does. I mean, huge. I mean, Jalen, you have the same roster on offense, a dominant offensive line. Jalen Hurts at quarterback doing a phenomenal job. Of course, his wide receiver core making explosive plays in the tight end position. And then you add Saquon to the mix. So there's a reason why they're in the Super Bowl. And, it's a challenge for us, but we're ready for it. Think of Canada. Number one is probably maple syrup. Number two is I actually went to the parade when the Raptors won the NBA, so I was out there for it, so that was a lot of fun. So Toronto, yeah. No, but I was a Kawhi fan. Yeah.
Game and a great challenge, and you have to just play your best football and hope you can find a way to win the game. Yeah, that's what it's all about, man. You want people to have this experience, and especially guys that put in the work like DeAndre has or Kareem has, and they haven't been able to get to this game, and they're going to go out there and try to maximize that opportunity. And so I think more than anything, just giving those guys the chances to go out there and make plays, and they'll be excited for it. A gift and a tremendous opportunity. So I would say probably going for the three-peat, but I know I'm probably more scared about having to work in bedtime whenever I have two kids and my mom's with the baby, and I'm going to have to try to be putting two kids to sleep with baths and getting them with their whole bedtime routine. That's going to probably be a more hostile environment than even the Super Bowl. We've had a lot of help, and Brittany has done a tremendous job of letting me be able to get my rest and recovery. But she told me once the Super Bowl is over that I'm all hands on deck. So it's like I said, I think they're not pressure, but I'm more scared of what's coming after the Super Bowl than I am the actual game. Yeah, I think it's a tremendous opportunity, and I'm super excited about it. It's still surreal to me to be playing in this Super Bowl again, but that's what you want to do is you want to go out there and be mentioned with the greats. And I think more than, like I said earlier in the week, and more than anything, I want this team to be remembered for being one of the greatest teams, and it's because of the work that we put in. And if we can go out there and get the job done this week, we'll continue to add to that resume that we have as a team. Yeah. How old is Messi right now? Yeah, I want to get to 39 at least. Especially if I'm still playing at the level that he's playing at, then I'm gonna try to be out on the field, and who knows how long I'll play. We'll see when we get there, but I'm gonna try to keep my body in shape and prepare myself so I can play as long as I can, as long as it doesn't take away from my family and I'm not hurting the football team. A lot of the outfits that like JuJu Smith-Schuster wears, I don't know if that I can wear, even though he has swag. I just don't know if I can wear those same outfits. He did not recruit me at the time, so I don't remember if I ever got to meet him or not. Yeah, I think we have such a close-knit group in the locker room that we don't really pay attention to much outside noise. You hear it, but we know what we do and we know how we go about our business every single day. And so we're just excited for the opportunity to play in this game and showcase who we really are on the biggest stage. Just to go out there and play the game that you love, the way that you've always played it. We won that first one, but I felt that I came out a little too anxious, a little too pumped up. And so I think more than anything, just play the game that you love the way you've always played it, and that'll be enough. That he's a really good football player. I mean, whenever the guy gets open a lot and you can just throw the football to him and he makes the plays happen, that helps out. And so he just has such a good feel for finding the open places in coverage and winning his one-on-one matchups, and then I just give him chances, and he seems like he always makes the play. No, I think he's just the biggest players make the biggest plays in the biggest moments, and he's one of those guys that seems like his game rises to the occasion whenever the lights are the brightest in the biggest moments. And so you try to get him going and get him opportunities, and it seems like he makes the plays. I honestly have no idea. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, he goes out there and has success every single year, it seems like, if it's throwing, running, whatever it is. And so I honestly don't know. If you look at his career, it's all he does is win. And that's what the most important job in the NFL is to win football games. And if he's asked to make big plays happen, he makes the big plays happen. So I do not understand it, but it's kind of part of the business is that people are going to doubt you no matter what. Honestly, I don't really care. I mean, I just know how we play, and all of these guys on our team, we love the game. We go out there and leave everything we have on the football field and play to the best of our ability. And so that's led to a lot of wins, and people are going to find ways to justify why we're winning so much, but we know why, and that's because of the hard work and the effort that we play with.
Yeah, I mean, I can see him as a father figure to a lot of us on the team. He just cares, the love he brings, which is so nice. And for a lot of us, you know, when you, it's like one of those people where like you don't want to let down because they believe and trust in you. So going out there and doing your job.
Now, obviously, you're playing for the Super Bowl. What are some of the other highlights that you can feel pretty good about that you've had in your career thus far?
Pittsburgh, New England, here. Obviously, you know, have an opportunity to go to three-peat.
Well, that's great. You know, listen, I wish you nothing but the best of luck. I know you're a fine wide receiver. And obviously, one last thing that came to mind, how would you define this wide receiver group and playing with Patrick Mahomes?
Spontaneous excitement. You have different type of skills at wide receiver. And playing with Patrick, he's able to use us.
And you have Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, not a bad group, don't have you?
Nah, man, they're great. They're a great group.
Thanks a lot for your time.
Yes, sir.
How's it going, man? So many of the guys in this receiver room have dealt with adversity. When you look at Rashi and Hollywood's injuries, and you look at your story being back with this team, I'm wondering what makes this wide receiver room truly so special?
It makes it special because, you know, we have a lot of great guys who are, you know, unselfish, and we're really to just work together. We have a lot of stars, you know, in our room, which is so nice, and having the opportunity to just go out there and play and make plays is all that matters.
And then when you look at your story from winning a Super Bowl with the Chiefs, parting ways with the Patriots, and now being back here, how truly special and thankful are you for this journey to now be back in this moment?
Very special, very special, and thankful. You know, I think it's, you know, the coaches seen something in me a couple years ago. They see that I can help this team out this year, so it's nice to be back here.
Throwing it back all the way to your days at USC.
Right on. Oh, hell yeah. Let's go.
What's a lesson you learned back then that you still implement today?
One lesson I learned back then that I implement today, yeah, I would say, let me see. I would say if you always make friends with the smart kids. In all my classes, I was with all the smart kids, and it's kind of crazy because a lot of my friends are not athletes. Like, I mean, yeah, they are, but a lot of my friends that I made at USC were just regular students who were just, you know, they were there, you know, getting their degree, and yeah, so it's pretty cool.
And then have you had any time to get fit in any gaming, or is it just
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Brought the PS5 out here. We're playing FIFA, college football, Madden, the whole shebang. Yeah, yeah. Let's get it. Fight on, yes, sir.
After the game, and I treat it just like a normal football week at this point. And so, being able to knock all the media stuff out before Friday is important to us. And so, I'm excited for the rest of the weekend of preparing to play in the Super Bowl. Nah, not really. It's the first time I even thought about it. I've played a lot of games now, and I just appreciate every opportunity I get. I mean, more than anything of me playing, every opportunity you get to play with your teammates is special because you never know if they're going to be there again that next year, and every team changes. And I've played in a lot of different iterations of the Kansas City Chiefs, and a lot of these guys have been here a long time, and some haven't. And so I appreciate every opportunity I get to go out with this team. Oh man, honestly don't know. I mean, I can never think back of it. I think more than anything, I remember my favorite commercials, and those always like the Doritos commercials. They always seem like they come with the fire. And I got to actually be a part of a Doritos commercial this year, not the Super Bowl one, but a part of one leading up to it. And I thought that was so cool because I growing up, I remember all those commercials. Oh yeah, I'm a baseball player at heart, so I have like a full. I don't want to go through the whole thing, but I have a full routine that I do every single game day. And they shot it on the documentary, the quarterback documentary, where I went through it a little bit, but it's a lot of stuff. Yeah, 1,000%. I mean, and he's been in the building a lot. It's been cool to see him still supporting the guys and pushing guys to be better. And he's going to be one of the best receivers in this league. I truly mean that. He was on pace this year to have an insane season, and I'm excited for his comeback. He's going to be even stronger than when he went down, and to add him to this receiver group that we have, it's going to be a special offense this next year, and I'm excited for him to be part of it. It's been awesome to work with Carson. I mean, both of us have kids that are very similar in age, and so our families have gotten together a lot, and they've been able to play, and so we've been around that as well. And so just a really good guy, man. Someone that comes to work every single day in the building before I am. He's in there early, and he likes to get after and watch the film and ask all the questions and stuff too. And so I'm super excited for him. I mean, he should definitely be a starter in this league. Like, I saw that from OTAs. I watch him throw the football. I watch him move around, how athletic he is, and I'm hoping that he gets his opportunity to have a chance as well as like some of these other guys around the league. I think he's going to go out there and maximize it and make stuff happen. But if not, I mean, he's been a guy who's been great for the room, and hopefully he's back with us. And so, like I said first, I hope he gets another opportunity somewhere. I want him to showcase who he is.
Oh, I would say T Grizzly, D today. Pray.
Okay, nice. And my last question for you is, first thing you're going to do if you win when you win the Super Bowl?
Man, just see my family, hang out with them, and just show them a lot of love and pray.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Good luck.
JuJu, I can see you guys are really close. Patrick was just saying that he will never wear any outfit that you feel. What are your
Yeah, nah, we talked about it before. We talked about it. You know, that he has his style, I have my style. So yeah, I don't think he'll rock my outfits.
Would you rock this outfit?
Oh yeah, for sure. He's class act, so I like his suits and stuff, which is nice.
You were just talking about music. I came from Chile, so have you ever heard any Chilean music or something like that? I can play you one song, which I'm sure you have heard.
I probably heard it. I haven't really listened to Chile music, but I'm sure it's probably lit.
Then you press play here, and tell me if you have heard that song.
Oh yeah, I like this one. Yeah. When I went to Greece, I was listening to this music a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Shout out to Chile.
Yo, shout out to Chile, man. Y'all lit, man. Turn me up. Let's get it.
Just let me know what it's like. Just being, you got traded here mid-season. What's it feel like to come back and just play for another Super Bowl?
Man, it's a blessing, man. It's awesome to be back here with the guys, man. being around a guy named Xavier, man, has been it's cool, man. One thing I like about Xavier, he's fast. He runs down the field really fast, opens up the middle of the field so I can catch, the ball and get yak.
Man, I've been going out to eat every day. I done had so many oysters. I think I got seasick for 2 days ago. I had the bed rest. I'm back outside with the GW Fan last night, which was pretty freaking remarkable. Yeah, I just been, for me, this has been like a staycation. I've been, thank you. Thank you. Louisiana is right down the road from my hometown. It's pretty expensive. I'm quite sure you guys have seen the tickets. I mean, you take it from Vegas to New Orleans, and New Orleans is charging more than Vegas. So, yeah, it's pretty expensive, man. Gonna cost a pretty penny, but I get to have all my family here, friends here. And it's pretty special, for us to just even be here. Pretty humbling for us to be in this position.
I just go through that process every single time, and so when you're in those big moments, you can't focus on how big the moment is, how big the pressure is. You just got to focus on the exact moment that you're in, and so that's something that I'm really good at. Just kind of how I'm ignoring Xavier. We tried one in practice, and it didn't go as perfectly as planned. But we'll give him more opportunities, and hopefully one day we can get him the double pass and he can throw a touchdown. But until then, we're going to see it completed in practice.